let's say you have an arm injury, okay? The law doesn't require that you get a bionic arm. What the law requires is that you get to the point of what's called maximum medical improvement. That's the point where the doctor says, listen, I've done everything that I can for you. You're as good as you're going to be. Now, sometimes it's enough for a guy or a lady, go right back to work, okay? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can be disabling to the effect that that person can't go back and assume the same duties that they did before. In that type of situation, the law says that that person is entitled to what's called vocational rehabilitation, which is, Illinois, as I mentioned, is the most generous state of all 50 states as far as workers' comp. Some states, for instance, like Wisconsin or Indiana, when you reach that date when it's maximum medical improvement, you're as good as you're going to get. That's it. Money stops. That's it. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. That's it. We get a permanency rating on you. We give you a couple bucks. Good luck. All right? Now, in Illinois, it's different. They can't just throw you out. They have to afford you what's called vocational rehabilitation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to send you for a 4-year ride to Harvard University. What it really, really, really means is they assess you, they see what you can do, and then they try to help you with job placement, and if that job doesn't pay as much, then to pay you a wage differential, okay? So that's the reason why I don't have any cases that are 10 years old or 20 years old, because people reach maximum medical improvement, and then either they go back to work or we try to find them another job. Because you must understand that the Workers' Comp Act is not an absolute guarantor about anything that could happen to you possibly at any other time in your life. So let's say that you get into some sort of accident at work, you injure your back, you have to have a back operation, okay? All right, you have your operation, you have your physical therapy, and then 6-7 months down the line, the doctor releases you back to work. Now, is your back ever going to be the same? Hell, I'm sorry you're doing this, but I'll tell you, hell no, it won't be, okay? And so, does that mean that any kind of twitch that you have is forever related to this case? No, it isn't, okay? I mean, you're going to have good days, you'll have bad days, but if you're back working, that's it. A year after the doctor releases you, more than likely what the problem is going to be a new injury as opposed to a continuation of that injury. So let's say you have your back operation, 6 months of physical therapy, you're back to work. If you're mowing the lawn in your home a month later and you slip in a gopher hole and twist your low back, that's not a continuation of the case, okay? It's a new and intervening injury. Likewise, if you get into some sort of automobile accident after the doctor releases you, it's not a continuation of this case. It's a new and intervening injury. And that's important because, and that's something that your members need to know about, because in my experience, what happens is, let's say a person has a back injury, they get treatment, they get related to work, they get released back to work. And then at some point down the line, they re-injure their back sometime later on the job. All right? And you'll read the documentation that they fill out at the doctor's office, and they'll say, well, I've had a bad back since 2005, okay? No. They had an injury, they got a course of care and treatment, they were released back to work, and now they have a new workers' comp injury. The law in the state of Illinois is we take you the way we find you unless it can be shown that your condition has deteriorated to the point where any activity of normal daily living would cause an exacerbation. All right? So, for instance, I have a broken ankle. I have hardware in my ankle. All right? This happened actually at work when I was working in college, 25 years ago. If I leave here today and I break my ankle going back to my car because it's wet or it's slippery or something like that, okay? The insurance company under Illinois law, they can't say, hey, you had a bad ankle to begin with. We're not paying on this one, okay? No, it's a new injury which is specific to a time, place, and occurrence, all right? So they take you the way they find you. Most, whether you realize it or not, and the only reason I do is because I take all these evidence depositions of orthopedic surgeons, is that male and females reach the peak of their physical prowess about the age of 18, okay? And after that, the body begins a long, slow, degenerative process, okay? Now, you wouldn't know it in somebody who's 19 years old, but by the time they're 49 years old, if you were to take an MRI of their back Even somebody who's never had a workplace injury or who does hard, heavy physical labor, you're going to see evidence of degenerative disc disease and probably calcification and all kinds of other stuff that's going on here, all right? So again, the law takes you the way they find you. If you had degenerative disc disease or you had calcification in your back, and again, you're in the lunchroom at work and the chair drops out from underneath and you bang your back, that's a work injury in the state of Illinois because they take you the way they find you, and the workplace injury in combination with your pre-existing condition has caused you to become symptomatic and need medical care.